Psychosis by Radiades, or generic 1074 on Discord. It was a black night, darker than usual. I knew something was off the moment I arrived at the precinct. I walked to my desk and grabbed a file about a man who was worried he was going to be killed. I opened it and read. The man was called James Carter. He was 22 years old and stood at 5'6". Took the photo of the man out and the apartment location. I grabbed my coat off my chair and walked to the apartment. I went to press the button to request entry, but something was off. The air smelled like bodies piled on bodies. It was a disgusting smell. It made me gag. But I managed to press the button. No response. I pressed it again. No response. I panicked and kicked the door in, rushing to the higher levels of the apartment. I entered James's room to find him lying dead. This was no normal murder. His eyes were removed and his torso mangled. I winced at the sight of the poor man. I called forensics and checked the rest of the apartment. Nothing was there. But what was odd was that this shouldn't be happening. His apartment was in witness protection. This apartment is a safe location. So what the hell happened? 10 minutes pass and forensic arrives. They find nothing. Nothing? Are you sure? Yes, sir. We checked the entire room. Strangely, he couldn't have died, but there was one thing. The marks on his chest, they were made from a knife, which would explain why his guts were outside his body. As for his eyes, they were shot out. At least the man died as soon as the bullet came in contact with his brain. Some organs are missing, though. We assume it's for the black market, or something similar. Alright, thanks. I walked past the man I spoke to and pondered. I just couldn't understand. I walked back inside and saw a piece of hair near an air vent. The extractor fan was on, and so any hair or dust that was there was gone, except for one. I bagged it instantly and went back to the police department. I went through the door and went to the morgue to find whose DNA was on the hair. Several minutes passed and I was done. The hair was my own. The smell of the apartment filled my nose again, as though I was there. The smell of blood, the smell of the rotting body. I fell off the chair and onto the floor. My breathing was quicker and I thought I was hallucinating. I stared at the floor as the tiles formed into a mirror, showing me myself. Something is wrong. I kept seeing distorted figures in my head as I felt as though my body was being ripped from me. I got the strength to stand back up and swallowed.
I can't live like this.
Unwanted thoughts echoed throughout my head, and I felt my grasp of reality fading. Thoughts became more active as I reached for my gun and pulled the chamber back. I marched back into the main part of the precinct.
Do it. Release your anger and frustration.
Kill them! I aimed and pulled the trigger. Ripping the life out of all of my other coworkers and friends. Screaming in mania echoed through the police department halls.
Good, yes.
I returned to the murder scene in hysteria. I looked at my hands to see the blood of my friends and the innocent. I fell to my knees and took the gun out once more. I pulled the chamber back and put it to my temple.